The woman at the well. John 4 through 42. Jesus had to go through Samaria. There was something he had to do there. When Jesus arrived, he rested by a well. His disciples left to buy food. The sun was high in the sky and it was hot. A woman from Samaria came to the well to get water. Jesus asked her for some water from her bucket. The woman was surprised. Jesus was a Jewish man, and she was a Samaritan woman. Jewish people and Samaritans were not supposed to talk to each other. Jesus smiled. You are surprised that I asked you for water, but if you knew who I am, you'd be asking me for water. This only confused the woman more. Sir, you do not have a bucket to offer water from. Where are you getting this water? The water I offer is from God. Those who drink it will never be thirsty again. Jesus was talking about the love that God gives. This idea was exciting to the woman. Although she was an outcast in her community, she shared the news with her neighbors. They were also excited. Jesus stayed 2 more days to teach.
I hope you're enjoying our videos so far and learning a lot about how God has interacted with water or used water to teach us all a lot of different things. If you can remember the creation video, I talked about how sometimes people viewed water, when they told these stories a long time ago, that people viewed water as kind of a scary, mysterious thing, and yet God still worked with it to bring about creation and beautiful diversity and to show God's love to everybody through the water. Well, in today's story, there's water again in this story. Jesus is traveling through Samaria, a land. It's a hot, dry desert land, and he comes to a well where there's water. It's deep, deep, deep down, and people would have to use a bucket to lower the bucket down to get the water and bring it back up to get the water. So Jesus needs this water, because even though they talk about water can be a scary thing, it can also be a life-giving thing. So Jesus needed the water in the middle of the desert, and there he met a woman who had a bucket. Jesus didn't have one. This woman had a bucket. This woman, we're told in the story, was a Samaritan woman. She was from that land. Jesus was not from that land. And in fact, the land that he was from, Israel, the people there looked at the people from where this woman was from they didn't treat each other very kindly at all. They were suspicious of each other, and they fought with each other. And so Jesus sees this woman, and she's from this land, and he's not supposed to talk to her for a couple of reasons. One, because she's Samaritan, from Samaria, and two, because she's a woman. In that day and age, it was not viewed very proper for a man to speak just randomly to a woman, and really viewed as a bad thing for a man from Israel to talk to somebody, and a woman specifically, from Samaria. But Jesus does. He shocks her by speaking to her, and then he tells her about something better than regular water. He tells her about the water of life, or living water. And he explains to her that this living water has to do with God and God's love for everybody, including people who are very different from each other. And so Jesus is showing God's love to this woman by disregarding the rules about, you're not supposed to talk to that woman because she's from Samaria. Well, Jesus is saying, no, look, God loves us. God made us to be different from each other. Remember, we talked about in creation how God loves there to be differences. So God made us to be different, and God loves us the same even if we are different. So Jesus was showing to this woman, hey, I don't really care necessarily who you are or where you're from. I love you because God loves us all. And this was the living water that Jesus was offering her, that God loved her even though she was different, and so did so did Jesus. So my encouragement to you as you learn more about some things today or with this video, after this video, that you would think about this living water of God's love, how it's for everybody. Even when we've done things maybe that we shouldn't or are not supposed to do, God still loves us. And you know what? God loves your friends and your family too, even when you might be disappointed in them or think there's no way God could love them. Guess what? God loves them too. And that's the water of living life. And I hope that you experience that today and the rest of the week. Thank you.